Hey guys, I got some good responses so far, pretty quick responses from my last video on do's and don'ts, and someone was commenting about adhesive, and they gave me some good advice, and I've been wanting to get an ATG gun, and I want to get one as soon as I have the money for it. I keep finding other things to spend it on, um, because I'm sure it's worth it once you actually get it, because my paper trimmer was expensive, and I'm glad I put the money into it now. But these are just some basics that I want to go over. If you're looking for just some good tips on what to start with. First of all, you need a good adhesive. Everyone knows that. That is very essential. And you kind of have to go through a trial and error on what works for you and what doesn't. What works for me, though, is this. Sorry, my space is a disaster because I'm working on a mini album. When I work on a mini album, it is a mess on my desk. Anyway, I like Aleen's or Aleen's. I just call it Aleen's. Fast grab or quick dry tacky glue. Either one works because they dry quickly and they adhere quickly. And because I am impatient, and that was one thing one of my commenters mentioned. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so impatient too. I cannot stand to wait and wait and wait. And this is good for gluing rhinestones because rhinestones tend to fall off for me. But if you let it sit for a while, it'll hold. But then once you handle it, it might, slip off. But if you let it dry for a few hours, oh my gosh, it is like nails, tacked through it. But it's really strong. So I would, and it's pretty cheap. I mean, this bottle was $3.47, but you can get bigger bottles of it, and you can buy it at Meijer and Walmart, which I like because if I just happen to be out of it, I can go in the middle of the night and don't have to worry about being out of adhesive in the middle of the night when I'm working on projects. Another thing that I would recommend if you don't have it is Glossy Accents. A lot of people use this. It's from Ranger, and I would just highly recommend it because it's good for gluing on transparencies because it's so clear, but it also holds well to transparencies. I found that this tacky glue doesn't work very well on transparency or acetate, but this works great, and it's also really cool for making any flat sticker look like an epoxy sticker, making it look very, very fun and I don't know, like it's more dimensional, and it's fun to put on flowers to make them look kind of glossy. So I mentioned that, Glossy Accents. Next thing is you're looking for a glue runner. This AdTech permanent bond glue runner is pretty good. It's good for adhering photos. I find that sometimes it's not completely as permanent as you would like it to be, but it does do its job well on lightweight paper and stuff like that. And it's cheap, so you can buy refills for like $3 to get 2 of them. And so I like this one. It's my favorite adhesive. And let's see, my paper trimmer is this Making Memories paper trimmer, and it folds out. Let me see if I can fold it out for you. So it's pretty big, and it's magnetic on the bottom. It's magnetic. It doesn't, the ruler itself, it comes with it, but it's for making memories, if I didn't mention that already. Mine, I actually dropped it one too many times, so it's kind of broken off right here, so this kind of slides, but it's actually very durable. It has a self-sharpening blade, which I have had this, which as much scrapping as I do, I have had this for well over a year, and it has been fantastic. I've had this for almost 2 years now, and it has never had to replace the blade. And it was about $50, but you can buy it at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. And I would make sure that you test it out first, because I thought I had broken this one, and it turns out you can't cut really, really thick chipboard with it or else it'll break it. I actually was able to fix this one somehow, but I like it because it cuts all the way big and it has standard sizes on it. But then you can, most of the time I can fold it in half, and it's pretty heavy, but it's heavy duty and it works great. And I use it for everything. I don't have another paper trimmer. I have a guillotine that I use to cut really thick chipboard, but that's it. But make sure you test it out when you get it first, because sometimes the ones that I tried when I thought I had broken it, I bought 2, and each one of them, it was making it so that every time I cut it, it would get a really ragged edge. So make sure you test it first. You can even take it out at the store if it's not, taped closed. But you can tell just by, if it's really hard to push it, that means there's something wrong with it. Don't buy it. But That's the only suggestion I have for this one, but otherwise it is a great product that I would highly, highly recommend. The only problem I have is that it's hard to get smaller than an inch because of this safety thing here. It's hard to get, you know, less than an inch measurement. But I don't do a lot of that anyway, and if I do, then I use my X-Acto knife or just eyeball it. So that is those are my favorite adhesives and my paper trimmer that I adore. And one thing I want to share with you is I don't think I could survive without my paper piercer. I use it to curl like things on flowers, and I use it to, because I lost the cap to my Glossy Accents, I use it to unclog the tip. And I use it to poke holes when I sew things. I use it to help pull, you know, ribbon through. It's from Making Memories. It was really cheap. I think it came with, and it's also, you pull this off, and then you turn it over, and it becomes a little impressor for like embossing and rub-ons. And so it's very versatile. It's very sharp, obviously. I've poked myself quite a few times with it, but otherwise I'd say this is a great tool, nice and cheap. I can't remember how much it cost, but I know I didn't pay that much for it. Again, that's from Making Memories. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Thanks for watching and joining me. If you guys like these videos, I'll keep doing them. Thanks.